Donald Trump has done it again. The crowd erupts after Donald Trump humiliates Adam Schiff. You guys have got to check this out.
28 or anywhere near it, and we're at 50% with Hispanic, and the poll shows we're higher. Just cancel the election. Just say Trump wins automatically, because that's a whole... Now they're going to say, see,
He's
now
joking.
when I say that, you know, we have fun, we're laughing and kidding, but when I say that, he's a fascist. He announced tonight he wants to cancel the election.
If you can't tell, he's kidding.
They actually had, you know, when I imitate Biden, you can't find his way off a stage. You can't put two sentences together, right? Can't put two sentences together. Here's a teleprompter. He doesn't know where the hell the teleprompter's there. And the nice part about me, I only use the teleprompter. The average, I think they say it averages about 9%. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a guy that didn't really need the teleprompter? Isn't that nice, though? Isn't that nice? But, you know, the dangerous thing I have, Al and Steve, is when I joke a little bit. You know, we got to joke. The country's in such trouble. If you don't have a sense of humor, we'd never get by. But you got to sort of make a little bit of fun. And I sort of imitate his speaking, and I go, bye-bye. He has no idea where the hell he is, right? Or I'll show him where he can't find the stairs. Now, we have a stair there, we have a stair there, we have one here, we have one here. They're all over the place. And he can never find this. I think Secret Service says, you always have this young, handsome guy run onto the stage, grab his arm, and pretend like it's normal to be doing that, right? But the biggest thing is, when I do it, they sometimes put me on, and they say Trump couldn't find his way off the stage, because they are the most dishonest people on earth, other than guys like Adam Schiff and, you know, Shifty Pencil Neck. Pencil Neck. He's a marvel. No, he's a structural marvel. He has a neck, and his head is like a watermelon, and his neck. And how that neck can hold up that big, oversized, ugly head is hard to believe. No, it's true.
Oh my gosh. What other politician says this stuff?
It's like your finger on a basketball. Some of these guys, they spin it. No, he's a terrible guy. Think of it. Think of this, Chef. So they make up the Russia hoax. It's a, you know, and by this time it was found out, and blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows it's a hoax, a scam. And, you know, it was originally used as a one-day deal to show that Hillary Clinton lost because of Russia, because they were embarrassed, because they weren't supposed to lose, but they lost. And so they made up this that it was Russia. I said, Russia? What the hell did Russia have to do with it? And I meant that. So then it got carried away. It ended up being 2.5 years, because it got picked up by the fake news. They knew it was a scam. Got picked up by but think of it. Adam Schiff made it up, along with Hillary Clinton and some others, DNC, Democrats. And they made up this scam, dangerous scam, very dangerous. Amazing that, you know, fortunately I knew Putin very well, and we had a little bit of a relationship going. He couldn't believe, he said, what the hell is going on with your country? They make up this scam, and then he comes out of a room, so he knows it's made up, and he has a news conference with a lot of press, and I'm watching this, and he goes, Donald Trump Jr. will go to prison because of what he did with Russia. Now, talking about my son is going to go to prison because of something they know is a total hoax. It's not like they believed it was maybe true. They knew it was, because they made it up. It was a scam. It was written. No, think of it. And he's saying, think of it, you have a son. And I called up my son. I said, are you okay? He says, yeah, I don't know anything about Russia. What's going on? He knew nothing about Russia. This guy in the fourth row right here, he knows more about Russia than my son knew. But think how bad you have to be as a person to do that. So he's got a scam. They know it's a scam. It's a made-up story to try and justify why she lost, okay? She lost because she had no personality. She lost for a lot of reasons. No, they said she's... Well, that too, I would say this. She's evil. That's interesting. But what kind of a human being would say we're going to put somebody in prison because of something that we made up that we know is a phony thing? They're bad people, right, Steve? Bad people, you know? They're bad people.
I find it utterly hilarious how they go after Donald Trump's son for supposedly colluding with Russia. Meanwhile, he has nothing to do with Russia. It's just a distraction. But Hunter Biden? This man does crime after crime after crime. He's got a laptop where if you watched it, you would be behind bars for years. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden, who has this content and has the most disgusting things on it, he's perfectly fine. He's walking around. He's got there's no problems with Hunter Biden. He could have deals with Ukraine. He could make millions of dollars even though he has no experience. This man's living life on easy mode. He could do whatever the heck he wants. But Donald Trump's son gets attacked mercilessly just because they don't like his father? What does that tell you about the world?
Health Authority of Title 42 are placed in immigration enforcement proceedings and are subject to removal if they do not qualify for the relief that the laws of this country provide them.
Respectfully,
I do not
Mr.
think,
Secretary,
if I may.
No, hang on. I have a limited amount of time and several questions. If you just give me a quick answer, I would really appreciate it.
Sure.
Among those nearly 2.4 million encounters, we had 98 non-U.S. citizens listed on the terrorist watch list who were caught trying to enter the homeland between ports of entry. This is approximately 5 times the number of terrorist encounters from the last 5 years combined. Do you believe this indicates a border that is not open?
What this indicates, Congressman, is the fact that we have extraordinary personnel in the United States Border Patrol risking their lives every day to apprehend individuals at the border. And we
Mr. Secretary, you're not going to answer the question. In fiscal year 2022, we had an estimated 600,000 gotaways. Do you believe this indicates a border that is not open?
Congressman, I would respectfully posit that I don't think that the 1.4 million people who were either removed or expelled
Mr. Secretary,
from the country would
please
consider the border open.
I'm going to take back my time. In May, Kansas City law enforcement seized more than 15,000 counterfeit fentanyl pills. This fiscal year alone, CBP has seized enough fentanyl to kill almost 2.9 billion people, over 8 times the entire population of the U.S. Do you believe this indicates a border that is not open?
Congressman, do you realize that the majority of the fentanyl that is sought to be smuggled into the United States comes through the ports of entry, and our interdiction efforts have been more successful than ever before? I should note,
Mr. Secretary, in my home state,
excuse me,
Mr. Secretary, you've done this all day. When you don't like a question, you filibuster. In my home state of Kansas, the state health department saw a 54% increase in drug overdoses in the first half of 2021, nearly half of which were caused by fentanyl, primarily supplied by the cartels. Nationwide, the CDC reported that over 107,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in 2021, with 66% of those related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. 300 Americans a day are dying from fentanyl. It's the equivalent of an airliner going down every day. Do you think this indicates a border that is not open?
Congressman, the fight against the scourge of fentanyl and the devastation that it is wreaking is a years-long fight that we in the United States government with our state and local partners have been fighting. Do you realize that the number of overdose deaths from fentanyl has been increasing year over year since at least 2018? Certainly, this is not a new phenomenon.
Mr. Secretary,
it is not a new tragedy.
Mr. Secretary, you clearly don't understand the problem.
I clearly do.
Excuse me. This has nothing to do with politics. This is about kids across the country dying every single day from fentanyl overdoses because people in Washington can't get their act together. This is about an overwhelmed Border Patrol. This is about migrants being victimized by the drug cartels. My concern, and the concern of my constituents back home, is how can you begin to solve the problem if you don't even acknowledge the depth and breadth of it? Here's a question for you. Have you had discussions, excuse me, Mr. Secretary, have you had discussions with the President or anyone in the Biden administration about stepping down from your current role?
I have not.
Not a conversation with anyone in the administration?
Congressman, let me be very clear.
Yes or no?
May I answer your
question?
No,
yes or no? Have you had that conversation with anyone in the administration?
I am very proud of what we have accomplished. I'm very committed to accomplishing more.
Answer the question. Have you had a conversation with anyone in the administration about stepping down from your current role?
I have not.
I hope, for the sake of the safety of the American people, that conversation happens very soon. I yield back my time.
The gentleman yields back. Mr. Secretary, you may respond.
Madam Acting Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity. Congressman, I look forward to sharing information with you so that you understand the threat that fentanyl poses and how it is smuggled into the country. Everything that we are doing to fight the transnational criminal organizations across the federal enterprise with our partners to the South, and to disabuse you of misunderstandings that you have with respect to the fentanyl crisis, because they are grave. And I look forward to not only sharing information with you, but hopefully sharing information with the American public.
It's hard to even watch that dude. I think he might be a sociopath. The fact that he's just blatantly lying, the drugs are coming in by the hordes through our border, but the people in charge, it doesn't seem like they care. They don't even recognize a problem. They think, oh yeah, everything's fine and dandy. Why would I ever have to worry about my job? I'm doing a good job. Excuse me. Say that to the parents of anyone who has lost a child through drug overdose. There is a massive problem. You just fail to recognize that problem. That is a you problem, and he should not be in the position that he's in because he has far too much power and he just seems very ignorant. And he needs to be more respectful, and he actually needs to make a difference. I don't know whether this is coming from him or this is coming from the top, from Joe Biden and company, but they all need to recognize there's a massive problem at the border. You're not doing anyone any favors by saying everything is hunky-dory, everything's fine, because it really isn't. This needs to be rectified soon, because too many Americans are losing their life through this drug epidemic. This man right here should be ashamed of himself. But let me know your thoughts on this down below. Am I being too harsh on the guy? Do you think Donald Trump has what it takes to rectify this problem at the border with the drugs? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.